Defense lawyer Peter Dauberman asked the Judge Mandela Makaula to recuse himself, citing bias. Makaula declined the application, saying it's without merit. Dauberman indicated he wants to consult senior counsel with the view to appeal that ruling at the Supreme Court of Appeal. While Dauberman says Judge Makaula showed bias towards the first witness, Cheryl Zondi. He read out several incidents in support of this claim, including the part where the judge wished Zondi well for her upcoming exams. Dauberman told the judge he'd allowed his humanity to get the better of him. The court was also told of threats that were made towards Omotoso's two co-accused and now wants the judge to intervene. Judge Makaula responded, saying those who have been threatened should lay charges with the police and approach the civil courts. The trial has been postponed until Thursday. Well, our Jayed-Leigh Paulse has been monitoring this story for us in Port Elizabeth and joins us now to give us a sense of the drama that unfolded today. Jayed-Leigh, good evening to you. I mean, it's a dramatic trial already, but almost no one anticipated the moves that Peter Dauberman was making today, notwithstanding, of course, the presence of so many who came out in support of Cheryl Zondi, including celebrity singer Simphiwe Dana and the ANC Women's League.
That's very true, Bongani. I think everyone thought that Dauberman had an ace up his sleeve, calling Judge Mandela Makaula to recuse himself. Very interesting day. I think a lot of people inside the courtroom were actually flabbergasted at that move from Dauberman. But then we saw Judge coming through and saying that he will not recuse himself. And it was baseless. There was no merits for that application brought by the defense. But very interesting to see a lot of political figures, like you mentioned, Bongani, in court today. We saw the Minister of Women in Presidency, Batabile Dlamini, as well as Nomvula Mokanyana, Minister Pam Chwete, as well, Eastern Cape Premier Phumla Masualle, various other dignitaries, and then singer and gender activist as well. There's Simphiwe Dana gracing us with a presence, but also calling for organizations to stand in solidarity behind this trial, stand for women abuse and child abuse, and throw their weight behind all the witnesses who are yet to testify. So it was very interesting to see those political figures sitting in court this afternoon.
Of course, one of the interesting things is going to be how Peter Dauberman frames his involvement in the trial, going to some length today to say that he does support women's rights, he does support women's issues, and I understand off the record he had some challenges with this trial being streamed live on television.
That is very true. When he came out, after we had several delays this morning, you would know if you're watching the live streaming that the two co-accused weren't present in court, Zukiswa Sito and Lusando Solani. He said that, if the co-accused had received many threats. He even went as far as saying he himself received threats as well from, supporters of Zondi, people who have been supporting the witnesses and the victims who are yet to come out, Bongani. But then he also went on to say that he was a firm believer in women's rights, that he stood for women's rights, and that what the media was portraying about him is total lies. He even went on a tirade, calling the media to order, saying that what we have been broadcasting is not true. Also making reference to the centimeters situation that came out last week during Zondi's testimony, saying that was, totally out of context, that he did not say that, and then also went on to make more mention of the fact that he is just doing his job, he's defending his client, and that the way the media have portrayed him is totally wrong. But then off the record, I have spoken to the minister, and she did inform me that there was a somewhat approach from the defense advocate, Peter Dauberman, asking that the streaming of the SABC be taken down and that we should be cautious in what we put out there. But then again, he was also, adamant that all the other media who were streaming and taking content out of context should also be cautious. So quite a bit of a punch there with regards to the media and the coverage.
Perhaps someone, Jayed-Leigh, should play a clip of some of what he's been saying. I'd be very curious to see, of course, how all of this unfolds. It may go all the way to the Supreme Court of Appeal, but Judge Mandela Makaula standing his ground there, saying that he will not, he dismissed the application by Peter Dauberman. All right, our Jayed-Leigh Paulse, thank you very much for that perspective. She's been, of course, monitoring the story for us in Port Elizabeth, and it raises a number of questions about how trials like this may or may not be televised based on the public pushback from what we saw in court today. Now, from one story to another one that's been around for some time, where is Umntwana? Over to you, Francis.